The Tap Heroes event in Pet Simulator 9 is one of the craziest events for you to have your absolute best chance to get your first huge, Titanic, or even the Gargantuan. I literally just hatched this one yesterday. I got the 122nd one. It was crazy. So it is possible. It's not a pay-to-win event, but it's actually one of the most free-to-play friendly events that they've probably ever made. And I'll show you everything that I do for my setup to be able to farm for the absolute best chance for you to get yourself your first Titanic or Garg. Real quick, to interrupt a quick bonus here, I will be giving away my Titanic Crusader Dragon to one of you lucky subscribers who watches, likes, and comments on this video. Thank you guys for supporting me so much. It's my way of kind of giving back to you. It's actually a pretty cool Titanic, in my opinion. I actually didn't like it at first, but after having it and hatching it, it's pretty insane. But again, subscribe, like, and comment your username. Don't forget to comment your username. There's been a few people who don't, and they win, and then I can't send them anything. That kind of sucks. Be sure to comment your username 100%. First things first, we hop over to the Tap Heroes event. And in this area, I mean, it's pretty straightforward. You have your upgrades, you're going to max them out pretty quickly. But the key thing is, at what point do you stop rebirthing and at what point do you start AFK grinding? And this is a question that's been asked by quite a lot of people, with seemingly no real definitive answer, but from the information I've seen on Twitter, and people leaking the chances, it seems like the Rebirth caps out at roughly Rebirth 20 in terms of the luck increase, as well as the luck increase apparently only works on the Titanic and Gargantuan. And real fast, just to kind of prove, the Titanic hasn't been nerfed yet in terms of its chances. It's still consistently being hatched, pretty much a couple dozen every hour or so. Now, when it comes down to the Gargantuan, this is a little different. If we look at the exist history, it was super easy to get in the first day. Then they gave it a pretty solid nerf, and there wasn't too many to come through. And then they rebuffed the chances, and it seems like there's a slight nerf again. But my guess is it's going to be a day on, day off type thing, where if you're AFKing during the time of a buff, you have a really solid chance to kind of hit that pocket. I got lucky enough to be, I think, literally one of the last people to get it during the buff, and we'll see if that changes at any point today. But to show you the Enchant Loadout, that's kind of the key thing here, is what do you do for Enchant? Because look at my damage, I have 3.34E plus 04T. Now, if you don't understand what that means, that's perfectly fine, don't worry about it. Just know that this factor goes from 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, and when you get to 10, and you exceed this, the 04T will go to 05T, incrementally going up. That's what you need to focus on, your tap damage needing to be higher, because look how quickly I'm killing this chest. It's every 0.2 to like maybe 0.6 seconds for me to break this chest, and that's no auto clicker. That is just the game using the auto tap in the auto farm. And my pets aren't even all that crazy. I mean, I do have the Gargantuans, don't get me wrong, those are crazy, can't lie, but like the Titanics, they're not that crazy. Level 99 Titanic, not bad. Then the Titanic Crusader and the Huge. You can switch it out for a Titanic, completely up to you. But to go over the enchants real fast, this is currently the enchants that I am running. It looks insane. I'm not gonna lie. It looks like this doesn't make any sense. It looks like it shouldn't really work. It's quite literally just 7 Tap X power books, plus a Swift Taps and a Mega Chest Breaker. If you don't have the ability to get the Mega Chest Breaker, you don't need it. You can just go for a standard Chest Breaker. That'll be perfectly fine if you don't have the ability to get this. But let me just show you one by one how powerful these tap books are. Look at the tap damage now, 125 trillion. I'm barely making a dent here. And if we look at how many pets I have quite a lot because of AFK the egg for a long time. But let's start building out the exact enchants I'm using. I'm using 1 book of Swift Tap, and then I'm using 7 of the tap power X's here. So let's just throw those on and look at how quickly these books accelerate the damage. We're already at like plus 03T, but let's look at this number again. We're going to do this one by one. Tap power increase. How far does that get me? That gets 1 book gets me with 1.54E plus 03T. Another one will get me to 3. Another one gets me to 3.7. Boom. To 4, 4.42, 4.46, and 4.81. Now, with all of those combined, we're already cruising. I mean, we're breaking it every, 3 seconds or so, 2.3 seconds. Now, this is where Chest Breaker really comes into play. Even if you have the normal Chest Breaker, it's 200%, but the Mega Chest Breaker is the most, like, pay-to-win one. It's the most overpowered one to go for, and it accelerates you from that 2-second mark to the 0.3 to 0.6 second mark. Now let's do just some quick math. There are 86,400 seconds in a day, and if we are breaking the chest in, let's average it out to every 0.35 seconds, we divide that, boom, 0.35. That's 250,000 chests a day that I'm breaking on this account with this team. That is 250,000 chances at the Titanic and the Gargantuan. Now, the chances are kind of widely disputed as to what they are. Nobody has a real definitive solid answer. I've seen a lot of ranging values, anywhere from the Gargantuan at 20 rebirths to being 1 in 5 million to being like 1 in 25 million. So I'm not going to sit here and tell you definitively like a solid answer for what their chances are. It's not insanely out of the question for you to be able to get your first, not only Titanic, but even a chance at the Gargantuan. Again, when this popped yesterday and I saw this, I was losing my mind. It was crazy. It was actually insane. But now let's go over the strat of how to actually build your team, because if you look, I have an insane amount of damage pets, and I think that if you don't have the Mega Chest Breaker, that's perfectly fine. You can actually compensate for not having the Mega Chest Breaker enchant by having more pets. Now again, if we recall, this event is not based off your strongest pet, it is based off compounding damage. Now what is compounding damage? That means every single one of these pets' damage is added to your tap damage and your DPS. That is what that means. That's insane, because if you go over here, you max out all your upgrades, all you have to do literally is sit here in AFK. But if you have the issue of you're not able to continuously auto hatch the egg, there is a strategy that I used on day 1 that was super OP, and I'll show you what it is right now. Get to level 120 at any rebirth. It does not matter. And this is what we're going to do. We're going to actually stop breaking this chest for a second, and we're going to go back 5. We're going to go to this chest right here. Now, why are we at this one out of all of them? The main reason why is because this chest, when you auto click it, gives you so many coins. So when you go to auto hatch here with your best egg upgraded, 74 trillion per 144, so this is at the maximum, and you were sitting here, you hatch this infinitely. If you don't have like the eggs mastery to reduce the cost of the eggs, or any of the bonus upgrades from the mastery to make this easier or possible, then the other way to do it is do the same thing, have them set up at 115 to kill this boss chest super quick, and then all you do is you just choose the middle option, and then you're guaranteed that you'll slowly compound them. And if you can AFK hatch overnight, that's the way I did it. Using an auto clicker as well to insta hatch them too is another way. But since these pets are untradeable, it's really the only way that you can, as a free-to-play player, get your hands on more damage pets. Now when it comes down to the actual clan battle, if we take a look here, I mean, our clan, we don't even have a full 75 people in it, and I haven't been progressing through the actual rebirth since day 1. Once I got to rebirth 21, I was like, I'm gonna stop here once I heard that it pretty much caps out. So I'm not looking to go for this for the clan battle. So this isn't advice for the clan battle. This is advice for like individual people to try to get their hands on their first Titanic or the Gargantuan. When it comes to the huges, they're cool, but I mean, like, you guys all want the Titanic or the Garg. Let's be honest here. Let's not beat around the bush. That's just how it is. And that's what I'm trying to help you guys out with, because if I can get the Garg, which is crazy, and I think that this is absolutely doable for quite literally anybody who is trying to get their hands on increasing the level of their team or just increasing their value. Because even if you don't like this Titanic, for instance, it still sells for like 6 bill right now, I think, right? How much does it sell for? Yeah, it still 5.57 bill, but I mean, like, that is an insane amount of gems that you can either use to build out an insanely OP rainbow huge team, get your first Titanic that you actually want. There's a lot of Titanics in that price range, so I think the value is absolutely there. The other side note is these gifts that you get, the marble gifts, they do have an exclusive huge in them that I haven't really seen a lot of people have or try to sell. So if you want to, you can go for that by opening them. You do have a 0.5% chance every time the chest breaks to get one. So I have 910 of these things just from AFKing the chest since the day the event started. I already sold 1,300 of them as well on day 1 when they were closer to like a mil a piece. So that made me roughly about a bill. Can't complain there. But yeah, that's 250 mil that's just sitting in your inventory. That's compounding. So that's another way that you can get gems and earn from this event, which is crazy. So again, this is a free-to-play event, absolutely, and it's, in my personal opinion, one of the best new events that they've added in a long time. Free-to-play friendly, AFK friendly, unlike the Backrooms event where you had to really run around actively to find the rooms, the eggs, etc. There were so many time-gated eggs and whatnot. It was just kind of frustrating. But when it comes down to this one, I mean, overall, I mean, it's pretty peak. I can't even lie. It's just good.